Rifftrax. Why you always gotta pick Rifftrax? It's your lucky day, it's time for Rifftrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to episode 10 of my series, Every Rifftrax Short Reviewed, where I take 5 Rifftrax shorts in chronological order, review them and rate them, and give them a number between 1 and 5. The numbers being good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular, since I don't think a bad Rifftrax short exists. That's right, we're already at 10 episodes of this series, and I just want to thank you all so much for coming along with me on this. It's been a really fun time so far. But I actually have a quick announcement about the future of the channel coming up at the end of this, if you'll stick around with me at the very end. And also, just real quick, this is the last time I'll ever mention this about doing the voiceover on this series. I've decided that both for time, and because I like the way it ends up coming out, I believe I will always do just voiceover on this series, but on other videos, I will probably show my face more. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's get into it with episode 10 of Every Rifftrax Short Reviewed. Number 46, Back to School with Joan Miller from July 13th, 2009.
Accessorize with common garden weeds. Then realize what a dumb idea it is.
What would you think when you hear the title Back to School with Joan Miller? You'd probably assume it's about a little girl named Joan who's getting ready to go back to school. But of course it isn't. That would make too much sense. In reality, it's a 20-minute long fashion show for girls who are getting ready to go back to college.
With this versatile twosome in all-wool ribbon,
dyed red with the blood of Joan Miller's enemies.
The neckline. And for them, Joan Miller has this refreshing one-piecer, which is as changeable as the weather.
Assuming you're a supervillain with some sort of weather machine.
Hi, by the time you see this, I'll be 85 and use a walker.
Which Mademoiselle will feature in its September issue.
The issue's theme is 101 fashion atrocities.
The junior jury will really appreciate this one,
as they find you guilty of crimes against fashion.
This light-hearted Joan Miller shirt, modeled after Big Brothers, would be
from our Orwell collection.
But with all... And its Peter Pan collar is universally loved by juniors everywhere.
Captain Hook is less enthusiastic.
You're welcome all. And for them, Joan Miller made this one-piecer with that two-piecer look.
At a 5-piecer price.
And Joan Miller believes that here is a classroom casual designed to arouse more than casual interest among juniors.
Please don't say arouse casual and juniors in the same sentence.
And it has a square neckline to allow show-off space for favorite scarves.
Favorite scars? Is this dress made for Klingons?
Scarves.
Favorite scarves? Is this dress made for Doctor Who?
Yes, the Joan Miller fashions are coming at us with buttons, plaid, clothes models who have absolutely no idea how to model clothes, and a warbly voiced narrator who uses an absolute plethora of meaningless adjectives to describe the various outfits.
Now for a modeling technique known as pretending you're getting sprayed in the face with a hose.
Pearl buttons and snap-in shoulder pads, which make it so easy to launder.
While eating Pepperidge Farm cookies.
In red or black check taffeta, with Merrimack twillback cotton velveteen.
I think Dr. Seuss wrote that description. Mr. Narrator? Where are you?
Leave us.
Designers must never...
Oh, thank God, I thought we lost you.
And
good. Cover any semblance of a curve your body might have by loosely draping it in several yards of plaid.
I have a torso.
It's a natural for the campus.
Just be careful that nobody tries to have a picnic on you.
In this design, gold buttons run across the side button panel.
Do not use the side button panel for anything but buttons.
And plaid is always a must in a back-to-school wardrobe.
Especially if you're attending Lumberjack University.
Just be honest with yourselves, ladies. You'll be in sweatpants with no makeup by the end of the semester. I give this fashion parade a 4 out of 5.
Say Kyle. Bye-bye.
Number 47, Highway Mania from July 16th, 2009.
Game.
My hair!
Got a leaky head gasket, buddy.
It's the third little rascal I've hit today.
All of us have been a pedestrian and/or driver at least a couple of times before. Now, if you're a smart, rational human being, you've probably exercised some caution when both crossing the street on foot and in a car. However, while most of us know the rules of the road, there are always those careless idiots who get into accidents.
A busy band leader here hurries to make a network broadcast.
The narrator is inside a refrigerator box buried under 6 feet of fill dirt.
It isn't always the pedestrian who's wrong, however.
But hit him anyway, because what's he gonna do, dent your car?
This young lady doesn't seem to learn by experience.
But then does any woman.
Crossing of the street.
Back when sirens weren't meant to warn you, just severely annoy you.
Oh, for the love of God, stop!
Crossing a busy thoroughfare between intersections, however, is neither the quickest nor the safest way.
That would be crossing it in a tank.
Just 100.
What are the odds of stepping out in front of LA's only moving car?
Stupid asswipe, I hope you bleed to death, you.
Gotta do something to pass the time, so.
Kevin, don't take this the wrong way, but I will murder you and smile while I do
The
it.
largest city in the world.
Here, the narrator gives us many different ways we can kill or be killed anywhere a vehicle can be found. Now, one bit of credit I'll give this short is that it points out the idiocy of both drivers and pedestrians instead of just blaming the bad drivers, as is often the case with these type of shorts. However, there is such a thing as having a little too intense of a message, and this is definitely an example of it.
The offender is the most deadly menace to life and safety that our country has ever known. Every day, his hurtling car kills or maims more than 3,000 people on the streets and highways of America.
His name is Richie Sambora.
It's such a relentless toll in lives and human misery as this murderous fiend behind the wheel.
See, this is why we need to teach children how to blast through a railroad crossing without getting killed.
Mad driving leads to accidents like this and this.
And right after I stocked up on Christmas ornaments.
Far more than half were walking with their backs to traffic.
Like these flapper/nuns.
Day or night. We saw right turns from left lanes.
Then we realized we were in the British Isles.
And without. And speaking of hand signals,
I'm giving you one right now, dear listener. Yeah, twirl on it.
Most of them meaning. Leave the road open for those who know where they're going.
You lousy immigrant scum.
Many pedestrians. Urban pedestrian accidents are a big factor, many of them caused by the failure of drivers to give pedestrians the right of way.
And the failure of pedestrians to want to live.
With this fault is often combined that of driving too fast for conditions.
Conditions such as lumbago or dropsy or Scrivener's palsy.
During our trip, we questioned drivers whose driving was particularly reckless.
We insulted their mothers when necessary. Hey, folks, this safety business isn't pretty.
The thrill driver, the deliberately reckless driver.
The driver with his baseball hat collection in the back window. What's with that?
With equally distributed guilt from an over-the-top narrator, this safety lesson gets a 3 out of 5.
Good driving will be an effortless habit.
Good driving like this, for example.
Really? That's good?
Well, it's a very subtle difference. It's undetectable by the naked eye.
36,000 men.
Number 48, The Bill of Rights in Action from July 20th, 2009.
The prosecution in this case seeks to uphold the conviction and sentence of a man.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial was out of order! They're out of order! Too strong out of the gate?
Clear at the outset.
If there's one thing we've learned thanks to the internet, it's that people love their freedom of speech. And if there's a second thing we've learned, it's that people hate other people's freedom of speech. But where do we draw the line? That's what this short is all about.
Limited to expressing only popular ideas, he has no real freedom of speech.
I don't care who knows it. I like Celine Dion.
A speaker may express ideas that are so unpopular that the peace of the community is destroyed.
This guy exudes lone gunman.
Limited have a great deal of freedom in what we write, read, and say.
Doesn't mean we're any good at it. Oh, I think I know what's coming next.
Vote Ron Paul?
Yes. Wait, no.
Shut up! Iron Man was a good movie, you Hitler!
Go to hell, you Twilight hater!
Okay, there were problems with Watchmen, but you don't have to smear your hate all over our forum.
In America, we will complete it.
Nazi! Now, calling him Nazi won't work. Try calling him a green or comparing him to Rachel Maddow.
Why? Not because he was cruel, but because he had a dream.
A dream of being cruel.
People like you should be in jail.
Beatnik is right, and he doesn't even believe in jail.
When it comes to using your freedom of speech, you still have to be smart. Whether you give a hateful rant and get off scot-free or get sent to prison, I can guarantee that without a security detail, you'll end up beaten to a bloody pulp one day. Whether you officially broke a law or not, others certainly will, and you've got to take that into consideration if you value your life. But I guess if you're a Nazi sympathizer, you don't care about life whatsoever.
But it is not Hitler nor Nazism that is trial here today, but freedom of speech.
Yay!
In a free society.
Boo! Oh, I'm sorry.
Why it...
Been convicted of violating Section 415 of the Penal Code.
In short, you're a dick.
Did the defendant only speak?
Or did he speak in Klingon, which is punishable by death?
This man has just been convicted of disturbing the peace.
What, Chris Schenkel just flowed in?
He was unable to pick up the spare in the 6th, and that's going to cost him dearly.
Listen carefully to the arguments. You will be the judges.
You get to decide who lives and who dies.
For disturbing the...
But I cannot but wonder if the matter is quite so simple.
It is! Bring on the murder trial!
That I do not share my client's views. I personally find them ugly, twisted, and repulsive.
Yes, he directed Daddy Day Camp, but...
Does the Constitution say that one may go to a playground, a school, a nursery, and hurl obscenities with impunity?
Hey, leave my teachers out of this.
Public inconvenience, annoyance, or unrest.
In short, fry him. Oh, no, wait, I'm the defense attorney.
Counsel, you may proceed. The Constitution say, well, you only spoke.
It doesn't say it that femmy-like, I know that.
This man, and I urge this court to affirm the conviction.
But hey, you're the judges. Whatevs, man.
Here it's time to exercise my freedom of speech and give this entry a 2.5 out of 5.
Should this man's conviction be upheld, or should he be released?
Isn't there a middle ground where we get to pound his nads or something?
Well argued, Kevin. So long, everyone.
Rifftrax.
9. Shake Hands with Danger from July 22nd, 2009.
Shake hands with danger. Take a chance that you won't fall. You'll save yourself a minute, but you may damn well lose it all.
Whoa, keep it clean there, potty mouth.
Yeah, and this was cleaned up for radio. You should hear the explicit version. Never heard the words that many times in your whole life.
Oh dear.
Here we have an absolute classic. This short has got it all. A singing narrator, a completely boneheaded cast of characters, and people getting in terribly horrific accidents. What more could you ask for?
What if it bumped that control by accident? You'd be mincemeat by now. What have I told you? You don't work on equipment when the engine's running.
Well, I told him not to touch anything.
I am Eric Stoltz, after all.
Be careless for a moment. Spend a lifetime with the blues.
I got crushed by a road grader, and now I just feel, I don't know, kind of blue. Just a little off.
What the hell did you do that for?
You want me to do it?
No, I can handle it. There's no sweat there. We can take care of it.
All right, I have complete and utter confidence in you, guy who can't grow a mustache.
You mean you'll work on engines and machinery and not think of your own personal safety?
I ought to kill you!
The man shouldn't have tried to perform as an operator when he wasn't one.
In fact, he's barely qualified to run the toaster oven.
Harry is only bruised, but in a crowded area he could have killed someone because he ignored safe procedure to save a few minutes' work.
Shake Danger's hand? Hell, Harry ain't fit to wipe Danger's backside.
Often it's the routineness of the work that makes a person overconfident.
Or Caterpillar just hires bone-stupid workers.
Now this short actually premiered much earlier than it comes in this lineup. While it was released individually in July of '09, it originally came out as a never-before-seen bonus short on the first Rifftrax Shorts DVD on November 17th, 2008. But I've decided that if a short came out as a bonus or during a live show, I'm going to wait to talk about it until it comes up in the individual list.
And taking shortcuts is often a quick road to trouble.
A highway to the danger zone,
consider what happened
if
to
you
Harry
will.
Sanders.
Bury me with my Charlene Tilton poster!
Man, I really fell on my keys.
While thinking about his son, his hands and feet go through motions he believes have become automatic.
But then Harry also believes his wife's been faithful.
Let him learn the hard way, they say. Now, let him learn the hard way can be an attitude that results in serious injury.
They won't just be shaking hands. They'll be giving Danger a scented oil rub-down.
Well, here's the company grief counselor.
Fireman with two...
Luckily, Mr. Nolte was not at home at the time, though his floor-mounted mattress was damaged in the wreck.
But he's wearing safety glasses, and there's a macho thing involved here.
He has to make up for asking Gary out on a date.
And even the old-timer can lapse into carelessness.
No one is safe, ever! Everyone run!
Correct when he's...
Shaking hands with Danger? Hey, he's putting his hand right up. Danger!
Yeah. All right.
I'll never be able to punch Andy Dick!
Just use your other hand.
Oh, right. Well, hey, problem solved.
Maybe construction companies should start giving out intelligence tests during the application process. This dangerous short gets a 5 out of 5.
Lucky for the stunned operator, the machine stops itself.
Thankfully, the machine is smarter than Harry.
Number 50, Wing, Claw, and Fang from July 27th, 2009.
Now here's something.
Pete.
Without the help of a traffic policeman or stop signals, he's going to cross the street.
Pay no attention to the camera crew blocking traffic.
Here we see the first of a classic educational short template. A narrator attempting to take boring and or violent footage of animals and make it interesting by adding goofy names and weird storylines.
There you are. Patience and politeness have their own reward.
Though being an impatient dick does have a certain je ne sais quoi.
Now meet Jimmy, a raven.
Jimmy.
Not an ordinary raven by any means, but one with exceptional intelligence.
Jimmy.
Hen's eggs are his favorite food.
The Deathbringer returns! Our sinning triggers his wrath.
Tommy says he's better acquainted with etiquette when it comes to eating. The right thing to do is get a dish, then beg for your breakfast.
That's how actor Nick Nolte does it.
In captivity, the raven makes an amusing and very intelligent pet. Take Jimmy, for instance. He wants to do everything his trainer does.
Jimmy wants to eat TV dinners alone in his underwear?
Ravens are around, for ravens may be intelligent, but they're also mischievous.
Devouring the unborn. How mischievous.
No fried, boiled, or poached eggs for him. He'll take his a la naturel, and he does.
Mama, I'm ready to hatch. Oh my God, he impales me with his beak!
At first it seems like we're just watching the adventures of some barnyard animals until we randomly cut to a penguin, and then suddenly it appears all animals are fair game here.
Pete has learned how to manipulate gates. Just where he's headed for now, he isn't telling.
Though it's payday, so he's probably headed to the dog track.
He was taught this trick of picking up a basket and taking it to his trainer.
Then filling it with his trainer, still beating hard.
Think of teaching a full-grown lion the trick of playing what we call dead dog. Well, that's what Melvin has done.
See, Melvin has a lot of time on his hands.
He has no objection to passing the time of day, but he knows where he's going and doesn't stop to gossip.
If he doesn't have a drink in him by noon, he gets the shakes. Oddly enough, their marriage was completely legal.
The start of a new genre of shorts we'll be seeing. This entry gets a 2 out of 5.
Hey, no tongue.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Remember.
As always, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. And now for that announcement that I teased at the beginning. Next week, I'll actually be taking a week off of this series to start a new one, where I'll be reviewing every episode of Mystery Science Theater. I'm really excited about this project, too. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be a slightly different format than this, seeing as how we have the host segments and all that fun stuff to consider as well. And we're going to start off with a good one. We're going to start off by reviewing the entirety of the KTMA season. And don't worry, I will definitely be continuing to review the Rifftrax shorts as well. Once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later.
Some movies.